We've been diving deep into 5 of the most iconic area control games: Cyclades, Kemet, Enos, Blood Rage, and Rising Sun. After dozens of sessions with each, we can finally answer the question everyone asks: which one should you actually buy? And more importantly, which ones should you skip?
Yeah, because before anyone jumps in the comments saying just buy all 5, let's be real. These games are expensive, they take shelf space, they demand table time, and most groups will only commit to 1 or maybe 2 consistently. So we're breaking down the mechanics, the player interaction patterns, the scalability issues, component quality, and most importantly, which one delivers the best experience for your money and your specific table dynamic.
All 5 sit in that dudes on a map area control space, but they approach the genre from wildly different mechanical angles. Cyclades uses hidden auction bidding for god powers, and the goal is to be the first player to build 2 metropolises by collecting 4 different building types. Kemet has pyramid-based action selection layered with tech tree progression. Enos employs a brilliant 3 victory condition system with reactive card drafting. Blood Rage is sequential card drafting across 3 ages with escalating drama and mounting stakes. Rising Sun layers negotiation, alliances, and secret simultaneous bidding over feudal Japanese conflict. They're cousins from the same family, not siblings.
That's critical context, because when people ask, should I get Cyclades or Kemet, they're really asking 2 completely different questions about game design philosophy. It's like comparing a Euro-style auction game that happens to have combat mechanics versus a full-throttle combat engine builder with optimization puzzles. The mechanical DNA is totally different at the core level.
Let's start with mechanics, because this is where these games really separate into distinct experiences. In the base game, Cyclades revolves around an auction system where you're bidding gold to gain favor from Greek gods: Ares, Poseidon, Apollo, Athena, Hephaestus. You're competing for priority and the main action through your bids. The board layout is fixed in the base game. Same islands, same temples, every game. Your entire strategy revolves around adapting to which gods happen to be available each cycle, and deciding how much of your gold reserve to commit.
And that's exactly where Cyclades shows some limitations mechanically. In our experience, after 10 or 15 plays, we'd encountered most major strategic variations. The auction system is genuinely elegant, don't get me wrong, but the replayability ceiling is somewhat lower than the other games here. When we played it extensively, we recognized patterns pretty quickly. Okay, Ares is available this cycle, so everyone's going to bid high because we all need attacking capacity. The predictability starts setting in.
Now, compare that to Kemet, which completely separates resources into 3 distinct pyramid colors. White handles economy and prayer generation, red covers combat and movement, blue manages defense and control. You're constantly earning prayer points, which is the game's currency. The turn order each round is determined by who has the fewest victory points. They choose the order for everyone. You place 5 action tokens across your pyramid to execute specific actions: pray, recruit, move, raise pyramid, or buy power tile. You must place at least 1 token on the first 3 levels of your pyramid. That creates interesting decisions about which actions to prioritize and when to take them.
The power tiles. This is where Kemet gets its strategic depth. There are 48 power tiles total, 16 each in white, red, and blue, spanning levels 1 through 4. A level 1 white power costs 1 prayer point and requires a white pyramid at level 1. A level 4 red power costs 4 prayer points and requires a red pyramid at level 4. Here's the critical design point. You cannot purchase the same power tile twice in a single game. Every player builds a completely unique engine. One game I might go full aggro red, charge, godspeed, carnage, attacking constantly and overwhelming opponents. Next game, I might build a defensive blue strategy with shields of Neith and reinforcements, becoming almost impenetrable. Same power tiles available every session, but the acquisition order and combinations create absolutely massive variance in how games play out.
Our combat in Kemet has no dice. It's resolved by playing battle cards and comparing total strength. You're playing battle cards face down simultaneously, and the card value plus troop strength plus power tile bonuses determines the winner mathematically. You can calculate best-case and worst-case scenarios before engaging, though cards are played face down simultaneously, creating hidden information. High-level Kemet play is about knowing which battle cards are still in circulation and attacking when you have the advantage.
Which is why skill differences are more pronounced in Kemet. Experienced players have a significant advantage, and there's no luck to balance things. Also, permanent victory points come only from winning battles as an attacker. You cannot gain permanent VP by defending, so the game mechanically pushes constant aggression. Most of our Kemet sessions featured constant low-intensity skirmishes punctuated by decisive temple battles where someone's superior power tile engine pays off.
Innis is the outlier here because it doesn't use victory point accumulation at all. That's the fundamental design difference. Instead, there are 3 victory conditions you're trying to meet. First, be chieftain over territories containing a total of 6 or more opposing clans. Second, be present in territories with 6 or more total sanctuaries. Third, be present in 6 or more territories. During your turn in the season phase, if you meet at least one of these conditions, you can claim a pretender token instead of playing a card. Once you have a pretender token, everyone's watching your progress intensely. If you somehow lose all your victory conditions, you still keep the token, it doesn't disappear. Victory is checked only during the assembly phase at the start of each round. The player with a pretender token who meets the most of the 3 victory conditions wins the game. If there's a tie, the Bren wins. If no winner emerges, all pretender tokens are returned and the game continues.
That creates incredibly tense psychological dynamics throughout the entire session. Every player is simultaneously trying to pursue victory and prevent everyone else from achieving it. The moment someone gets a pretender token and starts working toward meeting more conditions, the entire table turns against them. But here's the beautiful part. You can't directly kill their progress or force them to lose conditions. You can only move units around to contest territory control and prevent them from meeting victory conditions. It's cooperative blocking without formal alliances, creating this weird tension.
The card mechanism in Innis is also unique. Each round, after drafting action cards in the assembly phase, players end with 4 action cards in hand for 3 or 4-player games, the Bren starts the season phase by playing a card. This could be an action card, advantage card, or epic tale card. Then, each player in turn can play a card, pass, or take a pretender token if they meet a victory condition. When you pass, you sit out temporarily. If all other players then pass in succession without playing cards, the season ends and we all lose our unplayed cards. It's brutal.
And the board changes completely every game. Territory tiles are drawn randomly and placed face up to create the starting landscape. New territories can be added during the game through Explore action cards. The randomness keeps replayability extremely high. We've played Innis over 30 times now, and it still feels fresh because the map configuration completely changes the strategic calculus every single session. The board state you're dealing with is never the same.
Blood Rage has this elegant 3-age structure. Card drafting happens at the start of each age, then you execute your drafted cards. The draft works like this. Deal each player 8 cards. Each player chooses 1 card to keep and passes the remaining cards to their left, so your right neighbor receives the cards you just passed. The twist: if I pick the best card available, my left neighbor gets the worst card, but my right neighbor gets to pick from what I passed them. The draft continues until everyone has drafted 6 cards total. The final 2 cards are discarded unseen, so not every card makes it into hands, which adds strategic depth to the draft. Creates absolutely brutal decisions. Do I take the best card for my strategy, or do I deny my opponent their key combo piece?
Once drafted, you play cards during the age phase. Cards include upgrade cards like monsters and enhanced units, battle cards you play in combat, quest cards that grant glory when completed, and Ragnarok cards that trigger at the end of each age, typically destroying provinces. Your drafted cards are your only resources for that age. Can't buy more, can't generate new units without recruiting cards. Every draft decision carries weight.
Battle is resolved by playing a battle card valued 0 to 16 and adding it to the total strength of all your figures in that province. Highest total wins. But battles can resolve over multiple rounds, so you're predicting opponent moves several turns ahead. High-level Blood Rage is reading opponent hands, knowing which cards are gone from the deck, making probabilistic decisions about what they'll play.
But after repeated plays, Blood Rage shows some patterns emerging. The deck composition is the same each age, though the number of cards varies by player count. After 20 or 30 plays, experienced players often identify the strongest early picks in each age, and optimal play can converge around similar strategies. Game feels fresh for plays 1 through 15, but by play 30 plus, you start recognizing the dominant strategies.
Rising Sun is the most mechanically complex of the 5 games. During the political phase, players take turns selecting a political mandate action: recruit, marshal, train, harvest, or betray. Here's how a mandate turn works. The current player draws the top 4 mandate tiles, chooses one, and returns the other 3 face down to the deck. Starting with the player to their left and proceeding clockwise, each player performs that mandate. The player who selected the mandate performs it last, except for the train mandate, where they go first. Only the selector and their ally get to perform the mandate's bonus action. So if I choose recruit, the player to my left recruits first, then clockwise around the table, and I recruit last with a bonus. I don't decide the order, it's fixed clockwise from my left.
War phase is where complexity truly peaks. During battles, you're secretly bidding coins on 4 war advantages. Seppuku, sacrifice your own units to gain honor. Take hostage, capture opponent units. Hire Ronin, add temporary mercenaries. And Imperial Poets, gain victory points for each unit that died in battle. After these advantages are resolved, total force determines the battle outcome, who wins the province. Finally, the winner distributes all the coins they spent on their war tile equally among the losing players as war reparations. To win an advantage like Take Hostage, you must allocate the most coins on that advantage, and among those bidding, you need the highest honor in the province. It's a multi-layered bidding system with psychological warfare baked in.
The alliance system is a key feature. You ally with one player each season, gaining bonuses from each other's actions, but alliances break each season. You can ally with a different player next season or the same player if they'll have you. The Betray action lets you dissolve an alliance and attack your former ally, makes Rising Sun the most social and negotiable of the 5 games.
But that's where Rising Sun can drag for some groups. Political phase moves quickly, but war phase can take time when there are multiple battles happening simultaneously. Our 5-player games typically ran 120 to 150 minutes, though this varies by group. 3-player games finish in 90 minutes. If your group hates negotiation or suffers from analysis paralysis, Rising Sun will feel tedious and frustrating.
Combat intensity differs massively between all 5. Kemet mechanically encourages combat, permanent VP only from winning battles as attacker. Most games involved constant skirmishes. Pacing is rapid. Experienced sessions finished in 45 to 60 minutes. Blood Rage is combat-heavy but optional. You can score through quests and sacrifices without fighting, but fighting is rewarded. Most games had 8 to 15 battles total. Rising Sun has structured combat in predetermined provinces, reducing spontaneous warfare. Most games had 4 to 8 major battles per season.
Innis has tactical but episodic combat. Clashes occur when clans occupy the same territory, but they're not the primary victory mechanism. Most games had 8 to 12 clashes. In the base game, Cyclades is least combat-heavy of all 5. Because you're bidding for god powers, direct conflict is episodic and optional. You can play entire games avoiding direct conflict if your strategy doesn't pursue Ares.
Player count scaling matters enormously. Cyclades at 3 players uses a modified setup. 2 gods are face down each cycle, which changes the auction dynamics. 4 players is ideal, maximum auction tension and competitiveness. 5 players adds downtime, stretching sessions to 120 plus minutes. Kemet at 3 players is good, 4 is excellent. Each player pursues independent strategies. 5 creates chaotic free-for-alls running 90 plus minutes.
Innis at 3 players is exceptional. The 3-player setup is specifically optimized with certain cards removed. 4 players is excellent, maximum psychological warfare and table talk. 5 players can feel overwhelming. Tracking pretender tokens becomes more complex, game length stretches to 90 to 120 minutes. Many players find Innis works best at 3 or 4 players. Blood Rage at 3 is excellent, 4 is optimal. 5 works, but the map becomes more crowded, changing the strategic dynamics.
Rising Sun at 3 players is good, but loses negotiation depth. 4 is excellent. 5 is exceptional. This is where Rising Sun truly shines. 5-player game maximizes political dynamics and alliance possibilities. Our 5-player sessions were consistently the most engaging and memorable.
In our experience, Cyclades has moderate replayability. Fixed board in the base game, random god rotation. After 10 to 15 plays, we'd seen most major strategic variations. Kemet has high replayability because power tile combinations are nearly infinite. After 30 to 50 plays, we were executing optimized variations rather than discovering completely new ones. Innis has extremely high replayability. Random territory draws mean every game has different board. After 50+ plays, Innis still feels fresh.
Blood Rage's replayability is moderate to good. Draft order creates variance, but power is somewhat uneven. After 20 to 30 plays, optimal strategies start emerging more clearly. Rising Sun has exceptional replayability because each clan has unique abilities. Multiple playstyles exist per clan. Negotiation aspect means every game's diplomatic dynamics differ. Even after 50+ plays, we're discovering new political combinations and negotiation strategies.
Learning curve differs significantly. Cyclades has a gentle learning curve. Most new players grasp the auction system quickly. Kemet's curve is steeper. Pyramid action selection is non-intuitive. Many teachers recommend starting with simplified power tile sets for first games. Innis has unique challenge, understanding 3 victory conditions. Discovery scenario is excellent pedagogy. Total teach-in, 45 minutes, including 1 discovery game. Most groups can start playing Blood Rage competitively after 20 to 30 minutes of explanation. Understanding optimal drafts comes later.
Teaching Rising Sun typically requires 60 to 90 minutes of explanation, and many groups benefit from a practice round. Political phase is novel, war phase's secret bidding is complex. Component quality varies significantly. Cyclades features elegant components, substantial cardboard, well-sculpted miniatures, clean board. After dozens of plays, components still feel new. Kemet features well-sculpted Egyptian miniatures, clever pyramids, visually appealing board. Production quality is high.
Innis features gorgeous Celtic-inspired artwork, though the gameplay components themselves are minimalist. Blood Rage is infamous for exceptionally detailed miniatures. Each clan has unique sculpts. Board is gorgeously illustrated, however, box is large and heavy. For collectors and miniature enthusiasts, production is a major draw. For players prioritizing gameplay over components, the premium production may feel unnecessary. Rising Sun continues premium miniature tradition with beautiful sculpts, though some criticize production as unnecessarily expensive.
Final verdict: if you want pure area control simplicity with cleanest design, buy Cyclades. Auction system is elegant, turn structure predictable. You can teach it in 20 minutes, but it's somewhat less replayable. After 10 to 15 plays in our experience, the fixed board feels familiar. If you want combat-focused aggression with rapid pacing, buy Kemet, designed for constant fighting. Power tiles create unique engines. Most games play in 60 to 75 minutes. Best bang for buck in gameplay density and decision complexity.
If you want psychological depth and board variety with exceptional replayability, buy Innis. 3 victory conditions create psychological tension. Random map generation ensures no 2 games feel identical. After 50+ plays, still feels fresh. Elegant simplicity makes it accessible without sacrificing depth. If you want balanced middle ground with escalating drama and best teach-to-depth ratio, buy Blood Rage. Most accessible for new players. Best gateway to area control games.
If you want negotiation, diplomacy, and table talk with highest strategic ceiling, buy Rising Sun. Most social game. Alliance system rewards table talk. Secret battle bidding adds dramatic reveals. For groups enjoying diplomatic games, Rising Sun is a natural fit. But don't buy if you want fast play. Sessions typically run 90 to 150 minutes with steepest learning curve.
So if you had to pick one, just one for a collection.
Enos. Replayability after 50-plus plays is unmatched. Random map generation ensures no two games feel identical. 3 victory conditions create varied experiences. Anti-metagame. No single strategy dominates because board changes every game. Teaching takes longer, but the payoff is enormous.
I'd pick Rising Sun. Negotiation dynamics create unique experiences every session. Asymmetric clans and multiple play styles mean you're discovering new strategies even after 50-plus plays. Yes, it's slower and harder to teach, but for experienced groups willing to invest time, Rising Sun delivers the deepest strategic experience in our opinion.
And that's exactly why these 5 games coexist. They're solving different problems for different groups. Comment below, which would you add to your collection? Cyclades for simplicity, Kemet for combat, Enos for depth, Blood Rage for accessibility, Rising Sun for diplomacy? Let us know your experiences.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time with more board game comparisons. Now go buy the right game for your table.